There are moments when the body wants to rest, but the mind continues turning in silence, reviewing what happened during the day, remembering mistakes, anticipating problems, demanding answers that perhaps do not yet exist. And in the middle of that inner movement, a familiar sensation of pressure appears, as if there were something that must be resolved before you can truly release the weight of the day. If you have recognized yourself in that state, I want you to know something important. This moment is new. It is not conditioned by what happened a few hours ago, nor by the thoughts your mind has repeated throughout the day. This instant can become a different kind of pause, a space where your nervous system begins to slow down and where your attention can gently return to you. When the body begins to relax and the mind reduces its pace, the words a person says to themselves acquire a much deeper influence. Louise Hay devoted much of her life to reminding us of precisely this, that inner dialogue is not just a mental habit. It is a force that can transform the way we experience our lives and also the way we rest within them. So, as you continue here, allowing this moment to expand calmly, begin to notice something very simple, the possibility of speaking to yourself in a different way, more kindly, more consciously, more aligned with the tranquility that your mind and your body have been waiting for. If these words resonate with you, perhaps this is also the moment to recognize that you are not living this process alone. This space, Mastery of Manifestation, is a community of conscious practice where thousands of people train every day the way they think, feel, and speak to themselves. If you feel that this path is also for you, you can subscribe and become part of this frequency of transformation. And if you wish to anchor the intention of this meditation, or write in the comments, I speak to myself with love and I approve of myself. Every intention shared strengthens the field of consciousness that we create together. As you continue here, allowing the rhythm of your mind to become a little slower, you may begin to notice something very human that often appears when the day comes to an end. That sensation of inner pressure that insists you should understand everything, resolve everything, feel better immediately, as if peace could only arrive after you have organized every thought. However, this moment does not require any answer from you. You do not need to fix your life tonight, nor find explanations for every emotion, nor force yourself to reach a perfect state before resting. The mind often believes that calm is obtained through control. But the nervous system functions in a very different way. The body learns to relax when it perceives kindness. When you speak to yourself with gentleness, something subtly changes inside. The breathing begins to soften. The shoulders stop holding unnecessary tension, and the mind no longer feels the urgency to monitor every thought. Louise Hay taught that one of the deepest forms of inner transformation consists of learning to treat yourself with the same compassion that you would offer to someone you love. It is not a complicated technique. It is a different relationship with yourself. And in this quiet space, your mind can begin to remember it step by step, word by word, allowing a kinder sensation to slowly settle within you as your mind begins to relax a little more. You may recognize that what you are experiencing is not something strange, nor something that happens only to you. Many people arrive at this moment of the day with a mind full of repetitive thoughts, with an inner voice that analyzes, corrects, demands, or tries to find answers before allowing itself to rest. Perhaps you recognize yourself in that experience, in that sensation of inner pressure that appears when it feels as if there is always something more to improve, something to understand, something to resolve before feeling tranquility. This meditation has been created precisely for those who live with that kind of inner dialogue, for those who feel that their mind does not stop easily, even when the body already needs calm. But the purpose of this practice is not to force you to change your life tonight, nor to convince you to think differently by force. The true purpose is something deeper, to learn to transform the way you speak to yourself. Louise Hay devoted her life to teaching that the words we repeat to ourselves create the emotional climate in which we live. When that dialogue becomes kinder, more conscious, the nervous system begins to feel safe. And in that space of safety, the mind can finally rest. At this point, while your breathing becomes calmer and the mind begins to feel a little less tense, a simple but very important understanding may appear. Many people believe that healing means finding immediate answers, resolving every internal conflict, or reaching some kind of perfect state where no difficulty exists anymore. And when that does not happen, the mind concludes that something is failing. But inner transformation rarely begins in that way. In reality, much of deep change begins in a much simpler place, in the way a person speaks to themselves when no one else is listening. For years, perhaps even for an entire lifetime, self-criticism may have become a kind of automatic habit, a voice that tries to correct, push, demand, believing that this pressure is the only way to improve. However, that strategy almost never produces the peace we are seeking. Louise Hay devoted much of her teaching to showing something different, that learning to approve of oneself, even while one is still growing and learning, can open an inner space where the mind stops struggling and the body begins to relax. And when that inner struggle begins to diminish, something very interesting happens. The possibility appears to begin a different kind of practice, more conscious, more gentle, a practice that you are now ready to experience. With that calmer understanding within you, we can begin to explore something very simple, something the body understands easily when the mind stops demanding immediate results. Take a soft breath, slow, without effort, and observe how the air enters and leaves naturally. There is no need to modify anything. Simply notice how, when the breathing becomes a little calmer, the body also begins to respond. Louise Hay taught that the words we repeat to ourselves have a profound influence on the way we feel. Especially when they are spoken with gentleness and presence. So, in this moment, try something simple. Allow these words to appear within your mind softly. everything is fine, without forcing the mind to believe it. Without arguing with the thought, simply allow the phrase to settle inside you, like a signal of calm. Repeat slowly, everything is fine, and as you do, observe what happens in your body. Perhaps the breathing becomes a little deeper, perhaps the shoulders release a small tension, perhaps the chest feels more open. That is what Louise Hay reminded so many people, that affirmations, repeated with kindness, can teach the nervous system a new way to feel safe. Allow the phrase to appear again, slowly, like a gentle touch for your mind. As those words begin to settle softly within you, it may be helpful to understand where this way of speaking to yourself comes from. Louise Hay was one of the first people to teach, in a clear and accessible way, that the thoughts and words we repeat inside our minds are not simply passing ideas. They are signals that the body and the mind learn to interpret. Over the course of decades, Louise Hay showed how inner dialogue can profoundly influence our emotions, our sense of well-being, and even the way we face the challenges of life. When a person speaks to themselves with harshness, the body remains on alert. But when inner language becomes more kind, something begins to reorganize inside. That is why this nighttime moment has so much value, because when the body begins to rest and the mind slows its pace, the subconscious becomes more receptive to the words we repeat with intention. The affirmations you are hearing arise from that understanding Louise Hay shared with the world. The idea that self-love and self-acceptance are not simply positive thoughts, they are a different way of relating to yourself. One that can quietly transform your inner experience. As you continue listening to these words, an even deeper understanding may begin to appear about what is happening inside you. Affirmations do not exist to deny reality, nor to ignore the challenges that life may present. Louise Hay always reminded us that their purpose was something much simpler and more powerful: to create a different inner dialogue, one that teaches the body that it no longer needs to live in a constant state of alert. The human brain is designed to respond to repeated signals. When certain thoughts appear again and again, the nervous system begins to interpret them as important information about the environment. That is why, when the words we repeat convey calm, safety, acceptance, the body begins to reorganize its internal response. Little by little, the muscles stop holding unnecessary tension, the breathing becomes deeper, the internal rhythm slows down, and the mind stops searching for danger in every thought. Louise Hay understood something essential as she observed thousands of people throughout her life, that the words we repeat to ourselves do not only influence how we think, they also influence how the body feels. When inner dialogue changes, the organism begins to learn a new way of inhabiting the experience. And as you allow this understanding to settle within you, the practice can continue deepening with greater naturalness. As this understanding begins to settle within you, a calmer way of relating to what you still do not fully understand may begin to appear. The mind often searches for immediate answers. It tries to anticipate results. It wants to make sure that everything is under control. However, when the body begins to feel safe, the possibility appears to look at life from a different perspective. Louise Hay often spoke about this deep trust, the trust that life is not working against us, but rather responds to the way we choose to relate to it. Allow then a new affirmation to appear gently in your mind. Everything is unfolding for my highest good. You do not need to force yourself to believe it. Simply allow the words to rest within you, like a quiet seed. Repeat slowly. Everything is unfolding for my highest good. And as the phrase appears again, observe how your body responds. Perhaps the chest feels a little more open. Perhaps the breathing flows more easily. Perhaps the mind stops rushing. Louise Hay reminded us that when we stop struggling with life and begin to trust its process, something changes within us. Urgency dissolves, patience appears, and the body begins to release tensions that once seemed inevitable. Allow that trust to grow gently within this moment. When trust begins to feel more present within you, the possibility also appears to look at the past from a different perspective. A calmer view, less rigid, more open to understanding. Many times the weight we carry does not come only from what happened, but from the meaning we have repeated again and again in our minds. Louise Hay often spoke about this, about how the stories we tell about our past can become chains or doors toward a new way of understanding our experience. Allow then a simple affirmation to appear softly within you. My past can transform into wisdom. This is not about denying what you lived, nor about erasing memories, only about allowing the story to be seen with more compassion. Repeat slowly. My past can transform into wisdom. Allow the words to descend into the body, as if they were releasing a tension that no longer needs to remain. Louise Hay taught that forgiveness, especially toward oneself, is one of the deepest ways to release trapped emotional energy. When judgment softens, the heart finds space to breathe, and in that space, the past stops being a permanent burden and begins to occupy a lighter place within your story, a place where experience slowly transforms into understanding. With that sensation of greater lightness within you, the body can begin to recognize something very valuable. The possibility of feeling safe in this moment. Gently bring a hand to your chest or to the center of your heart, and allow that simple gesture to send a signal of care to your nervous system. Louise Hay often spoke about the power of treating yourself with tenderness, reminding us that self-love is also communicated through simple gestures. While you keep your hand there, allow these words to appear calmly within you. I am safe in this moment. Repeat slowly. I am safe in this moment. When the body perceives safety, the breathing stabilizes, the muscles relax, and the organism begins to rest in a deeper sensation of balance, allowing calm to settle naturally within you. As that sensation of safety begins to settle into your body, a different perception about your relationship with life itself may also begin to appear. Louise Hay often reminded us that life is not separate from us, nor does it work against us, but rather responds to the way we treat ourselves and to the energy with which we relate to it. Allow then a gentle affirmation to appear within your mind. Life supports me, and I trust life. So repeat slowly. Life supports me, and I trust life. When you offer thoughts of trust and openness, something within you responds, and the experience begins to feel less lonely, more supported, more connected to the flow of life. In the middle of this sensation of connection with life, a space also appears to turn your attention back toward yourself with a kinder attitude, more understanding. Louise Hay taught that one of the most transformative acts a person can practice is learning to approve of themselves, even while they continue growing. Allow then these words to appear gently within your mind. I love myself, and I approve of myself exactly as I am in this moment. Repeat slowly. I love myself, and I approve of myself exactly as I am. When the mind stops attacking itself, something becomes deeply quiet. The tension of self-criticism dissolves, and the body finds a kind of rest that once seemed impossible, allowing a more authentic calm to settle within you. Within that stillness that is beginning to settle inside you, an important understanding may also begin to appear about how inner change unfolds over time. The mind and the body learn through repetition, in the same way that over the years, they may have become accustomed to certain thoughts of pressure or criticism. They can also become familiar with kinder words, with more stable emotions, with a different way of relating to yourself. When an idea is repeated with gentleness and consistency, the brain begins to recognize it as a new possible pattern, gradually creating calmer emotional responses toward life. Louise Hay taught precisely this, that the daily practice of self-love affirmations can slowly transform the relationship a person has with themselves. Each repetition, even the simplest ones, quietly plants a new way of living within you. That understanding that is beginning to settle within you also opens the door to a different way of looking at everyday life, a perspective that is more conscious, more kind, more wise. Over time, by observing the human experience with attention, one discovers that there are small understandings, almost like silent gems, that can profoundly transform the way we live our days. Louise Hay devoted much of her life to sharing these kinds of teachings, reminding us that self-love, conscious inner dialogue, and the way we choose to treat ourselves can change the relationship we have with life. In the next moments, Some of these understandings will begin to reveal themselves gently, preparing you to integrate them into your own inner path.
I'm learning to protect myself without needing to shut down. I choose paths that bring me closer to myself, not away. I give myself time to heal, without deadlines or goals. I'm dismantling beliefs that once taught me not to love myself. I deserve to receive what I once learned to deny. I'm willing to feel worthy without needing to justify it. Every boundary I set honors my inner growth. I allow myself to be tender with myself as a daily practice. I'm taking responsibility for myself from love, not punishment. I choose to be patient as I learn how to rebuild. I'm giving myself permission to see myself with new eyes. I'm cultivating an identity that reflects me more authentically. I recognize myself as someone capable of evolving without demanding perfection. I welcome myself even when I fall short of my own expectations. The voice that once criticized me is now beginning to learn how to comfort me. I care for myself as I would care for the most delicate thing in existence. I'm lowering the pressure to raise the love. I value myself for who I am, not for what I produce. I'm making peace with my internal contradictions. The dignity with which I treat myself defines my new decisions. am restoring the internal safety I lost at some point. The emotion that once overwhelmed me now teaches me. I am embracing my sensitivity as part of my power. My nervous system finds deep rest through release. I free myself from the weight of stories I no longer want to repeat. I recognize that healing does not mean forgetting, but transforming. Today, I accept what I cannot change and release what I can. I am embracing every broken part with patience and compassion. The intelligence of my body knows exactly what to release tonight. I am stepping out of trauma to enter the present moment. Peace finds me when I stop running from myself. I am building an emotional refuge within myself. I allow myself to feel deeply to truly heal. I am letting go of layers of protection I no longer need. Every tear I did not cry finds a safe space in this moment. I am honoring the process, even when I do not understand it. I am restoring parts of myself I thought were lost. Today, I rest in the certainty that all pain can also heal. I feel that relief isn't in the future. It has already begun. My soul gently guides me toward total healing. Dwelling in calm is a form of power. I give myself the permission to do nothing. I am allowing time to slow down. The whisper of tranquility guides me inward. Clarity comes when I stop forcing it. I am in harmony with the natural rhythm of life. I become presence each time I let go of judgment. My breath connects me with something greater than myself. I don't need to rush anywhere. I'm already where I need to be. I am cultivating an inner space, free from pressure. Slowness is now my way of caring for myself. I gently slide into inner stillness. Presence requires no effort, only permission. I surrender to the now, like one who trusts the river's current. The peace I feel is a quiet decision. I am untying mental knots with the power of the moment. Emotional stability is born at the center of the now. There is no pressure here, only pause and awareness. My inner time aligns with peace when I stop resisting. I choose not to rush. My soul moves at its own pace. As I sleep, everything that limits me begins to loosen. This deep stillness returns me to my original energetic rhythm. I allow myself to be fully present in this moment of surrender. Tonight, I choose rest over resistance. I'm breathing gently, like nature itself. My body is grateful for this sacred pause. I am healing effortlessly as I surrender to sleep. The night cares for me with the tenderness of one who understands everything. I'm entering a frequency where only serenity exists. I offer myself this night as an act of devotion to who I am. Rest is a silent language of balance. I'm deprogramming exhaustion and activating renewal. Tonight, I rest from the soul, not from habit. Every thought that fades makes space for subtler energy to emerge. I let myself be cradled by the invisible energy surrounding my body. I'm relaxing my entire system without needing to do anything. As I sleep, time disappears and only being remains. Tonight, my dreams will be both balm and revelation. Rest is now my purest spiritual practice. I release all need to think and surrender to the feeling. I am discovering dimensions of myself that reveal only through the soul. I am leaving separation behind to live from unity. I open my consciousness to a more loving and luminous reality. I am enveloped by the compassion of higher consciousness. I vibrate with deep understanding that transcends logic. I allow myself to walk with the sacred in every step of the journey. I am awakening memories that transcend this life. I let myself be guided by the wisdom flowing from spiritual silence. I am living a fusion of the human and the divine. I feel in communion with the consciousness that orders all things. I am receiving codes of light that activate my inner truth. I am remembering that all is already within me, waiting to be awakened. I hold within myself a space for the eternal. I let wisdom flow effortlessly through my life. I vibrate with the certainty that I am not alone on this journey. I am lifted by a truth that transcends thought. I feel inspired by a higher force that lives within me. I embrace mystery as a natural part of my evolution. I recognize that each breath can be a silent prayer. I am tuning into the quantum field where all possibilities exist. I am ready for a life that honors my inner growth. I release everything that no longer supports my expansion. I am someone capable of transforming with courage and presence. The rebirth I am experiencing connects me to my purest essence. With every moment, I move closer to a new way of being in the world. I allow myself to update how I think, feel, and act I am changing from within, and it reflects in everything I do. I move into the unknown with trust in my intuition. Every part of my story now finds a new interpretation. I am changing from the root, with no need to go back. This chapter marks a clear before and after on my path. I can feel my consciousness blooming from a new perspective. I am ready to express a wiser version of myself. I am reborn without fear of releasing what I once called me. I allow myself to grow, even if others don't understand my evolution. Every act of release is a gift to my future self. I am willing to let go of comfort in favor of authenticity. I rebuild myself with every experience I choose to integrate. I am leaving behind old emotions that no longer define who I am. I am part of a natural cycle of symbolic death and conscious rebirth. I am someone capable of imagining, creating, and sustaining new realities. My attention transforms into matter when held with certainty. I recognize myself as the invisible origin of all I experience. The mental images I cultivate are designing my tomorrow. I allow myself to think with the emotion of someone already living their vision. I feel my energy field expand as I choose new thoughts. I remain open to receiving what I have already visualized clearly. The silence of my mind is fertile ground for planting new possibilities. I direct my consciousness toward ideas that reflect my inner truth. I am grateful for every elevated thought as an act of creation. I connect with ideas that elevate my perception of the present. I am aware of the power held by an image, sustained with love. Every affirmation I think is a seed of transformation. I allow myself to observe without judgment and choose with intention. My mental system easily adapts to new expansive beliefs. I feel my mind align with a clearer vision of life. I choose to focus on what is ready emerging within me. I send mental signals that reorganize the future. I move forward from a mind that has been renewed. Every elevated thought opens an invisible door. I am the one who no longer doubts that I deserve all that I'm manifesting. I am the one who feels at ease, receiving without guilt. I am the one who turned rest into a tool for creating wealth. I am the one who stopped sabotaging what I had long been asking for. I am the one who expanded beyond the emotional inheritance of scarcity. I am the one who lives as the version that decided it was enough. I am the vibrational expansion of a mind trained in abundance. I am the one who aligned purpose with prosperity. I am the one who chooses the path of flow, not sacrifice. I am the one who builds freedom with awareness and presence. I am the one who holds inner wealth, even in silence. I am the one who channels income through my vibrational field. I am the one who activated my worth, and now reflect it in my reality. I am the one who turned my mind into fertile ground for million-dollar ideas. I am the one who stopped justifying my success and started living in it. I am the frequency of financial freedom. I am the one who honors money without attachment, with gratitude. I am the one who receives with an open heart, without limits. I am the one who freed myself from the fear of failure by elevating my identity. I am the one who transformed my inner dialogue and activated my prosperity. I accept myself completely, even in what I don't yet understand. I'm discovering new ways to live within myself with respect. I choose inner words that ground me, not ones that tear me down. I give myself permission to change without needing validation. I'm healing what I once silenced out of guilt. I'm learning to need myself with love, not pressure. I recognize myself as a being in progress and still whole. I offer myself compassion when doubt tries to take up space. I choose to hold myself when the world feels overwhelming. I'm on the path to building a deeper relationship with myself. I deserve to feel peace within my own skin. I embrace myself every time I feel insecure. Stability begins with the way I hold myself inside. I'm letting go of seeking outside what I can build within. I stand by myself as a true ally would. I'm releasing the rigidity that once made me feel unworthy. I look at myself with love because that gaze has the power to rebuild me. Every decision I make with love reaffirms my worth. I'm learning to see myself through the eyes of compassion. What makes me different also makes me unique and valuable. I no longer need to carry what is not mine to bear. Today I choose to release the pain that stayed longer than necessary. I am ready to let go of everything that has stolen my lightness. I no longer hide what I feel. I acknowledge it, embrace it, and release it. I choose to forgive myself for having demanded so much from myself. Today I release the shame that keeps me from showing who I truly am. I am learning to live without punishing myself for the past. I allow myself to heal without needing to understand everything. I am letting go of the need for perfection to feel worthy. Every time I listen to myself with love, a wound begins to close. I recognize myself as more than enough, even with my broken parts. I am transforming pain into wisdom and direction. Today, I stop reopening wounds that want to heal. There is no guilt in my story anymore, only evolution. I am releasing the energy of old conflicts that no longer serve me. The emotion I avoided feeling is now the doorway to my liberation. I am giving peace to the part of me that was always on alert. I choose to release with love what kept me trapped for years. My story is not a sentence. It is the starting point. Today, I decide to close chapters that prevent me from living in the present. I let myself be caressed by the breath that flows in and out effortlessly. Stillness becomes my greatest refuge. I am in communion with the silence that holds everything. Nothing external can disturb a present heart. I am practicing how to inhabit myself without expectation. Serenity is not something to chase. It is something to allow. I feel deeply relaxed in this eternal instant. I am no longer running from stillness. Each moment is a new opportunity to return to myself. I am deactivating urgency with each conscious exhale. Peace doesn't come from outside. It arises from within. merge with the now like a drop in the sea. The body rests more deeply when the mind releases the past. I am present without judgment, only presence. I choose not to interfere with what is happening. Acceptance opens the door to peace. I relax deeply by allowing everything to be as it is. I don't need control to feel safe. I trust that the now is enough. Every second lived with awareness becomes medicine. I am returning to a state of balance that already lives within me. Gentle breathing is my anchor on this night's journey. Every part of me knows how to deeply restore itself tonight. I let go of expectations and enter the pure now. My energy naturally balances when I choose to rest with intention. I am in harmony with the natural rhythms of the universe. Tonight is an opportunity to remember my lightest essence. I enter the night with gratitude, surrender and trust. I allow myself to simply be, floating in calm. Rest is the bridge between expansion and integration. Tonight, I am not defined by doing, but by being. I allow myself to be carried into a space of deep repair. As I sleep, my system is reorganized by infinite intelligence. I am releasing all mental noise that no longer serves my well-being. The body rests, the mind quiets, the soul rises. Every second of this night nourishes my vital energy. I am open to entering a deeply transformative sleep. Rest gives me clarity that will bloom tomorrow. I feel supported by a calm that transcends all thought. I am closing the day with gratitude and rest. I merge with the infinite energy of universal consciousness. I am transcending my limited identity and accessing my true self. I allow the dissolution of my past self to become pure presence. Each time I release control, universal intelligence takes the lead. I am creating coherence between my heart, my mind, and the field. I feel my energy rising as I connect with the deep now. I am awakening to the remembrance that I am pure consciousness in expansion. My mind surrenders, and the unknown reveals its perfect order to me. I enter the sacred void where transformation happens. I align with elevated frequencies that reconfigure my reality. I am activating within me the wisdom of an invisible, intelligent field. I allow the energy of universal love to heal and guide me. I dissolve into the field and return filled with light, clarity, and truth. Each elevated thought becomes a bridge to infinity. I choose a reality that is higher, more coherent, more luminous. The energy of the universe responds to my elevated present frequency. I am merging with a consciousness that has no beginning or end. I become the conscious observer of my inner creation. I enter a state of presence that transcends time. I am remembering my ability to access the quantum field from the heart. What once mattered to me can now be released with love. I recognize myself as someone in constant reconstruction. My transformation needs no explanation, only presence. I am available to expand without needing external validation. Every part of me is learning to vibrate at a new frequency. I rise above old narratives that no longer resonate with me. The version of me that is emerging is clearer, more honest, and more free. I am in the process of aligning what I feel, think, and do. I choose to create a new reality that is more aligned with my inner evolution. I am releasing beliefs that once limited my potential. Change strengthens me, even when it's quiet. I am willing to live from what I now discover as truth. My new identity needs no permission, only presence and consistency. I am building myself with intention, without needing to rush the process. Each day is an opportunity to rewrite my personal story. I allow myself to be reborn as many times as necessary. I am letting go of the fear of loss because I am gaining clarity. My transformation process is sacred and deeply necessary. I am grateful for every stage that has brought me here. I am allowing the new to move through me without resistance. The power to imagine something new frees me from the past. I feel inspired remembering that my mind is my greatest ally. I align with the version of myself that thinks with coherence and purpose. The inner vision I hold becomes my external experience. Every thought coherent with my desire multiplies in energy. I find myself creating silently from the inside out. I am grateful for every moment of clarity as a step toward my manifestation. The mental certainty I hold anchors me to the reality I desire. I think as someone who is already living the life they have visualized. Everything begins in my inner world, and that is the space I choose to cultivate today. I choose to hold thoughts that amplify my vision of possibility. I align with new ideas that elevate my daily reality. Everything I decide to experience begins in my mind. I feel connected to an intelligence that responds to my focus. Every new belief I accept creates a new path for me. My attention is a channel through which the reality I desire flows. I cultivate thoughts that bring me closer to my purpose. I observe myself with curiosity and choose thoughts that expand me. The frequency of my thoughts determines the quality of my life. I visualize scenarios that feel as real as what I already have. I am the one who became magnetic to unexpected opportunities. I am the one who invests energy in what uplifts me, not in what limits me. I am the one who acts as a channel of abundance for the world. I am the one who lives in coherence between what I think, feel, and manifest. I am the one who changed my point of attraction, and now everything is changing. I am the one who receives money as recognition for my expanded energy. I am the one who no longer fears success because I know it's part of my nature. I am the one who recognizes that my quantum field already holds what I desire. I am the one who turned worthiness into a daily practice. I am the one who stopped negotiating with mediocrity. I am the one who vibrates in abundance, even if I don't see it yet. I am the one who moves with energetic dignity toward my wealth. I am the one who honors my financial path without guilt or anxiety. I am the one who let go of emotional scarcity and chose vibrational fullness. I am the one who knows that my energy is my most valuable asset. I am the one who builds stability from the inside out. I am the one who breathes abundance every time I remember who I am. I am the one who walks through life with the aura of someone who already has. I am the one who manifests through presence alone. I am the one who became my own support. I accept myself completely, even in what I don't yet understand. I'm discovering new ways to live within myself with respect. I choose inner words that ground me, not ones that tear me down. I give myself permission to change without needing validation. I'm healing what I once silenced out of guilt. I'm learning to need myself with love, not pressure. I recognize myself as a being in progress and still whole. I offer myself compassion when doubt tries to take up space. I choose to hold myself when the world feels overwhelming. I'm on the path to building a deeper relationship with myself. I deserve to feel peace within my own skin. I embrace myself every time I feel insecure. Stability begins with the way I hold myself inside. I'm letting go of seeking outside what I can build within. I stand by myself as a true ally would. I'm releasing the rigidity that once made me feel unworthy. I look at myself with love because that gaze has the power to rebuild me. Every decision I make with love reaffirms my worth. of compassion. What makes me different also makes me unique and valuable. I am deactivating the emotional weight that accumulated in silence. I give myself permission to be emotionally free without explanations. Every released emotion makes room for a new version of me. I am no longer silencing what was screaming inside me. Today I embrace myself as I am, with my emotions fully bare. I am leaving behind the strong persona to allow myself to be real. Today I recognize that healing is not linear, but it is always sacred. I no longer punish myself for feeling too much. I am releasing what was, without resisting what is. Every emotion I go through is one less layer separating me from my peace. I am learning to be my own refuge, even when I tremble inside. I no longer judge myself for carrying so much, for so long. I am stopping shrinking myself to fit where there was no room for me. Today, I release the resentment that kept me anchored to someone else's pain. I am reclaiming the power I gave away out of fear of feeling. I allow myself to cry what I never could let go. I am breathing for all the times I held back. Today, I stop demanding my soul hurry to heal. I am releasing silent promises that prevented me from moving forward. I I am making space for forgiveness without needing reconciliation. I am entering a state of rest, deeper than sleep. I relax into the present as one who returns home. I don't need to understand everything to feel at peace. Each moment holds the seed of balance. I allow myself to release what I don't need to carry. Silence is now my favorite place to dwell. I am present in every part of me with kindness. Inner calm guides me like a gentle compass. I am entering a frequency of steady peace. I connect with an energy that supports my rest. There is no rush where there is acceptance. I find relief in the depth of the now. I feel stillness clearing my mind without words. Peace walks with me when I stop seeking answers. Each moment offers me a new chance to let go. Time expands when I surrender to presence. I'm turning down the volume of my mind with conscious breathing. My inner rest needs no conditions. I am learning to trust softness as the path. I align with the wisdom of the present moment. Every night is an opportunity to create from peace. I am being restored from the deepest part of me as I float in sleep. Tonight allows me to release everything that no longer belongs to my new self. Rest is not a pause, it's invisible construction. I am allowing the universe to work through me as I sleep. In this moment, there is no story, only presence. I am being rewritten from within in this state of complete relaxation. I rest like someone who knows they are worthy of peace. Tonight, I stop searching and simply am. I allow myself to rest as if everything is already resolved. I am entering a fertile void where everything regenerates. Tonight, I choose trust over trying to understand. My subconscious opens to well-being as I rest effortlessly. I am aligned with a rest that nourishes every layer of my being. This nightly pause is the alchemy of my transformation. As I dream, I align with wiser versions of myself. The silence of this night brings me back into balance. I enter sleep as one who crosses a sacred threshold. Tonight, I rest with the certainty that everything in me is gently being repaired. Tonight, I surrender with serenity to a deep and restorative rest. I feel supported by an ordering intelligence that knows me better than I know myself. I release my old personality and choose a new destiny. I dive into nothingness and emerge as the all within me. I am breathing from the frequency of the unlimited. My mindful attention opens invisible doors to higher planes. I choose to vibrate beyond the body, environment, and time. I align with a universal mind that is always creating. I allow elevated energy to reorganize my life from within. I am vibrating as a conscious extension of the Source. I am accessing information that transcends my usual logic. My heart rate synchronizes with the wisdom of the universe. I am dissolving all separation and remembering that I am one with the all. I am entering resonance with the divine order of creation. Each time I connect with the now, the eternal manifests within me. I am cultivating energetic coherence that transforms my biology. I feel my electromagnetic field expanding with gratitude. I recognize myself as part of an infinite evolving consciousness. I am activating quantum memories that were sleeping inside me. I am crossing the threshold from thought into conscious creation. I allow myself to become a new energy, a new reality. I am ready to live in full honesty with who I am. I transform with kindness, not with the demand for perfection. I give myself permission to not know who I am for a moment, so I can discover it more deeply. changing from a place of love, not pressure. What once gave me meaning can now be honored and released. I am learning to inhabit my new way of being with peace. My evolution doesn't need to be understood, only lived. I am in harmony with the renewal process I am going through. I allow myself to release any part of me. That no longer aligns with my expansion. I am activating a life that is more coherent with who I truly am. I am cultivating a new version of myself with intention and presence. I surrender to change as a natural part of my evolution. I am willing to let the parts of me that have fulfilled their purpose die. My rebirth begins with a single internal decision. I am shedding old layers that no longer represent my essence. I recognize myself as a work in progress, consciously expanding. Each day I release the past. I reclaim power in the present. I am embracing the challenge of becoming who I was always meant to be. True transformation is born from inner silence. I allow my mind to think from abundance, not lack. Every new thought I cultivate is an act of deliberate creation. I feel my mind becoming a source of order and clarity. I direct my energy toward thoughts that reflect the reality I deserve. I am committed to a mindset that builds possibilities. I allow myself to think from the result that is already on its way. I choose ideas that activate internal resources I have yet to explore. My mental state creates a field of attraction coherent with my desires. I feel that everything I think with emotion is already vibrating toward me. I am developing the habit of thinking about what I want, not what I fear. I remain focused on images that provoke emotional expansion. My mind has the power to transform my experience in every moment. I am constantly reorganizing my perception to align with my vision. Conscious imagination is my bridge to the desired future. I open myself to new ideas I previously did not allow myself to consider. Every conscious thought is a tool for energetic construction. I feel how my mental focus begins to reorder my environment. I give myself permission to live from thoughts that energize me. In my mind, there is space for everything I wish to manifest. I hold mental images as if they are already part of my reality. I am the one who remembers I don't need approval to prosper. I am the one who lives in harmony with the energy of giving and receiving. I am the one who no longer asks for permission to be abundant. I am the one who stopped hiding my light for fear of bothering others. I am the one who holds wealth with energetic maturity. I am the one who rose so high that the old no longer fits. I am the one who honors wealth as an expression of growth. I am the one who brings abundance where there was only repetition. I am the one who no longer needs to justify my transformation. I am the one who lives from a version of self that already knows how to attract everything. I am the one who stopped feeling guilty for wanting more. I am the one who became aligned with my greatest vision. I am the one who replaced sacrifice with conscious expansion. I am the one who rose high enough to inspire others. I am the one who sees money as an extension of my energy. I am the one who leads my reality through elevated emotion. I am the one who feels whole, and because of that, becomes unstoppable. I am the one who holds the certainty that materializes effortlessly. I am the one already living at the energetic level where everything flows with ease.